looking at this, we're going to look at the sine rule and how we use the sine rule, okay? So the sine rule is that A over sine A is equal to B over sine B. You'll know from what we've done already with trigonometry that when we're dealing with trigonometry, the capital letters represent the angles, whereas the lowercase letters represent the sides, okay? The only thing that you need to remember when you're working with the sine rule is that when you're dealing with A and sine A, they have to be opposite each other. So for instance, they have to be opposite each other. So we can call these capital A and lowercase a. So this one here could be capital A and lowercase a and lowercase a. And then the other ones that have to be opposite each other are going to be called B. So obviously the angle is going to be B, the side is going to be lowercase b. Okay, so this here is going to be B, and this here is going to be lowercase b. Okay, so all you need to be able to do then is just fill in your triangle. So when you're doing the sine rule, just to go back through that again, the sine rule is in the log table, so you'll have it. But all it says is that a side opposite an angle, so a side opposite an angle, the side is x, the angle is 68, is equal to the side over sine of the opposite angle. So you need a side, and an opposite angle, an opposite angle. So it's just making sure that they're opposites. Then all you need to do is fill in your formula. So instead of a, I can put in x. So I'm going to do that. Instead of a, I'm going to put in x. Instead of sine a, I'm going to put in sine of the angle, which in this case is sine 68. So I can say sine 68 is equal to, instead of b, I can put in 9. So I'm going to put 9 in instead of b. And that's all going to be over sine of b. And sine of b in this case is going to be sine of 33. So sine of 33. Okay. So this is the first step. Once you've input your data correctly, you've got your attempt marks in the exam. So there is marks going, you should always write out your formula, and then there is marks going for subbing in the values correctly. If you did that much and stopped, at least you get your attempt marks. Okay, and again, the most important thing is that you pair these together. So the side is x, so the angle is 68. The side is 9, so the angle is 33. Okay. People that typically get this wrong don't use opposites, okay? So if you were to get this wrong, you might say x over sine of 33. That wouldn't be correct, okay? Or you could have said 9 over sine 68. That wouldn't be correct. You have to make sure that they're opposite, okay? Now, yeah, okay. So once you have filled in your formula, right? There should be no issues of filling it in. And you have a fraction equals a fraction. To get rid of a fraction equals a fraction, you just cross multiply. So we'll say x times sine 33. So x times sine 33 is equal to 9 times sine 68. 9 times sine 68. Okay. Now, we're going to slowly with this one, right? So when you see here, you're looking for a value for x, obviously. That's our goal, right? So if we're looking for a value for x, we need to isolate the x and we need to get x by itself. So what I'm aiming towards is getting x by itself. And in order to get x by itself, I need to look at what's happening x. And if you look at the last one there, what's happening x is it's being multiplied by sine 33. So to get rid of this sine 33, I need to do the inverse operation. So the operation that's here at the minute is times. I'm multiplying x by sine 33. If I want x by itself, I need to divide the left-hand side by sine 33, which I can do, and that will leave me with x. But if I divide the left-hand side by sine 33, I have to make sure I divide the right-hand side by sine 33, and it's going to look very complicated, but your calculator will do all this work. So you can see there what happens. I end up with x is equal to 9 sine 68 divided by sine 33. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to show you the calculator so that you'll be able to work this out. So we put the calculator up here and we'll have a look at it. So the calculator is there, and bear with me and we get it up on the screen. Okay, so I'm going to just move that over to the side. I'll put it there so you can see. And if we move that over to there. Okay. So I need to be able to input this into the calculator. So in order to put that into the calculator, you need to be able to type it in, obviously, right? So what I'll do is I'll start by turning on the calculator. So if you turn on the calculator, obviously, turn it on. Okay. And let's just check that's turned on, which it is, right? Now, you need to put in the fraction. So we're going to put in the fraction. We're going to put in our numerator now, which is 9 sine 68. So 9 sine 68. So type in 9, sine is here. 68 obviously follows that. Close your brackets. And then we need to put in the denominator, which is sine 33. So we'll press down there and put in sine 33 and close your brackets. So you can see there I've got 9 sine 66, which is my numerator, 9 sine 68, 9 sine 68. And you can see the denominator is sine 33. The denominator is sine 33, so I'll press equals. So my answer there, x will be equal to 15.32. So x will be equal to 15.32. So just get rid of that and I'll fill in the information here. So x is equal to 15.32144,072. Okay. And in this question, I'm going to just give my answer to 2 decimal places. So give answer. There's typically instructions in the question. So give answer correct to 2 decimal places. Okay. So if I was going to give my answer to 2 decimal places, I count back 2, I draw a line, and I'd look at the next number. So if that number there is 5 or greater, 2 would have to round up to 3. If it's less than 5, we just leave it as 15.32. And in this case, it's less than 5, so we're going to leave our answer as 15.32. So our final answer will be equal to 15.32. And again, the units, there's no units in this. Typically, you'd be given units. So if it was centimeters, you put in centimeters. If it was meters, you put in meters. And that would be that question answered, right? So this is using the sine rule. This is using the sine rule, finding a missing side. And I'm going to show you how we use the sine rule, finding a missing angle in the next lesson, right?